tough weekend for us. Came out and played against two tough opponents in App State and ULM. App State came out; they were really prepared for the game. They done a very good job. Coaching wise, coming in with a game plan, and they executed it really well. They made it tough for us to create some chances. They went really defensive in the first half and kept it tight, and then kind of opened it up in the second half and tried to come at us a little bit. So they done really well. We struggled to find areas in the field where we could create some chances. We got a couple in the second half, but it just wasn't enough quantity for us to be able to go in and put the ball in the back of the net. So something we were looking to adjust moving into Sunday's game, and I think that we found some opportunities. We created some chances in Sunday against ULM, and we put 2 goals in the back of the net, which we're pretty happy about. Then the other side of it is we just lost our focus, and we let in two goals that could have been stopped and should have been stopped. And if we do that, then we potentially walk away with a 2-0 victory. So over the course of both games, it was pretty disappointing for us to be looking at, especially with the progress that we had made this year. But that's part of the game. We're going to have days and weeks like that. Now it's our job as a staff to make sure that we give the next 7 days preparation for our athletes for the game on Sunday against Troy.
You said you're going to have games like that, but after the way y'all played defense almost all season long, to have just lapses like that, got to be hugely disappointing.
Yeah, that really disappointing. That was a conversation after the game. Is just like we can't have games where it's always just 90%, and I always feel as if our games this year have been 90%, especially in a lot of the ties. Right, the 2-2 tie at ULM, the 0-0 tie against La Tech, the tie against FAU. If we were just 10% better, we'd have got an outcome that we needed. And there's going to come a time where we're going to have to put 90 minutes together on all areas of the game. We don't need to be firing all cylinders and scoring 4 and 5 goals, but we need to be going into games where we can go and see a game 1-0 and that be the end of it, and we walk away with 3 points.
I'd say, noticing that on the back-to-back, like what. I apologize. Let's go back to the first game on Thursday. You talked about how there weren't many chances given for you guys, but also defensively on that night there wasn't a lot of chances on their end. How are you able to carry that over? How can you carry that over so Sunday doesn't happen?
I know. I think we did though, and that was the problem. Is we carried it over. We didn't give a lot of chances to ULM, but they scored 2 goals. And the 2 goals, they were both beautiful strikes from ULM standpoint, but they're things that we should be able to stop. So I think on Thursday's game, you got 2 athletic teams that are both disciplined defensively, not wanting to give up a lot of chances, and that causes a very, very chaos game. There was a lot of chaos in the game. It was very fast. It was very transitional. There was a lot of throw-ins, a lot of goal kicks because plays were finished on the sideline. There was a lot of tackles going in. So the play didn't really get in a flow on Thursday. Obviously, the cooler temperatures and that evades to that a little bit. So moving into Sunday again a little bit, there was a little bit more soccer played from both teams. They created some good chances. We created some good chances. But the end all be all is we got to keep the ball at the back of the net.
We kind of talked about how conference play was going to be a start of a new season for you guys and in new ways to grow and learn. And you opened up with 3 very tough opponents in Sun Belt play. So what have you learned so far that you think your team needs to improve upon going into the rest of conference play?
There's a difference between playing good soccer and winning soccer games. And that's where we're at right now. We're playing some good stuff. But when you go into conference play, every single game is like a cup final. And every single team is coming out for a point, 3 points, whatever it may be. And we are not understanding the value right now of really being purposeful in every defensive movement and every offensive movement. And we need to learn that. But I think that we're doing a better job of it, right? I think that, earlier on in the year, we're creating a lot of chances and giving up silly chances. We're not giving up silly chances now. We're just losing our focus when the time matters. And it's just going to be part of the growing process that we got to figure it out in the next kind of 6 or 7 days for us to extend through the last 7 games of the year.
How much does having a 1-game week help at this point of the year?
Yeah, really good. I think that we look back to the Texas State game 2 Sundays ago, and we come out at the start of that game firing. We really started well on the front foot. We went up 1-0. The first half we created a lot of chances. Texas State didn't really create a lot, so it gives us these next kind of 6 days for us to get ready for that game is going to be really good for us because it's going to give us a chance to evaluate, put in some practice plans, make sure we're putting our players in the areas that we need to see improvements this weekend. And I'm sure based on what we've seen from this group for the last 18 months, even in the last 8 months since January, their growth and adaptation to the learning process is fantastic. That there, I'm not worried about whatsoever. So I think they're going to respond really well, and I think the 1 game week is going to help us out a lot.
What does Troy do, and is there any similarities from the 3 teams that you see so far that you can maybe use to attack Troy?
Yeah, so for Troy, they're really, really defensively organized. They keep it really tight. ULM played them in the first game of the season. It was a 1-0 game. The defensive structure from Troy made it really difficult for ULM to create chances. They've got a couple of really, really quick and athletic players up top. They had just come back for conference play, didn't play in the last game, but their 3 players up top allow them to play in the transition really well. So they're going to defend deep. It's going to be tight. They're going to put a lot of pressure on us. And then as soon as they win it, they're going to play forward and try and counterattack. So it's going to be a similarity to like if you blend all 3 teams together, right? Like ULM had some really special, dangerous players, same as Texas State. App State were really organized defensively, and Texas State on the transition were really quick and could exploit you in areas. It's going to be the same with Troy. And this conference and gauntlet, every single team's quality. They've got good areas of the field on their back line and the forwards, the midfield, how they play. Every team is got some threats and some qualities. So it's on us to be on our best each day.